Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today we are going to solve some word problems related to kilograms and grams. Problem number 1. Alfred's mass is 35 kilogram. His father is 30 kilogram heavier than him. What's his father's mass? Now, who is heavier, Alfred or his father? Okay, apparently his father is heavier than him because his father is 30 kilogram heavier than him. So to obtain his father's mass, we have to add Alfred's mass, which is 35, with the how much his father heavier than him, which is 30 kilogram. So 35 kilogram, this is Alfred's mass plus 30 kilogram, the amount his father heavier than him. This gives us 65 kilograms. Now we can say his father's mass is 65 kilograms. Easy, right? Now let's jump to the next example. The problem says the mass of jar of sweet is 500 grams. The mass of jar of jelly beans is 650 grams. How much lighter is the jar of sweet than the jar of jelly beans? Okay, this is the jar of the sweets and this is the jelly beans jar. So the first one is, as we read here, 500 grams, and the second is 650 grams. The question says, how much lighter is the jar of sweet, this is the jar of sweet, than the jar of jelly beans? It's clear here that the jar of jelly beans is heavier because it's 650, but the jar of sweets is lighter. So how much lighter is the jar of sweet? What do you think here? Do we need to add or subtract between 650 and 500 to get the answer? Obviously, we need to subtract to get the difference between both jars, right? So we have to write 650 minus 500, because we need to know the difference, how much this one is heavier than this one, or how much this one is lighter than this one. So the answer is 150 grams. So the jar of sweets is lighter than the jar of jelly beans by 150 grams. Or we can simply say the jar of sweets is 150 grams lighter than the jar of jelly beans. Here is another example. The problem says the mass of box containing butter cookies and chocolate cookies is 850 grams. The mass of butter cookies is 300 grams. The total mass of the butter cookies and the chocolate cookies is 700 grams. The first question, what is the mass of chocolate cookies? Second is, what's the mass of empty box? As you see here, we have the box, we have the chocolate cookies and the butter cookies. According to the question, the mass of the box containing cookies, both butter and chocolate cookies, all together are 850. So all box and cookies are 850 grams. But the mass of butter cookies, which is this, okay, only 300 grams. Okay, The first question, what's the mass of chocolate cookies? This one, we need to know the mass of this, and we need to know the mass of the box when it's empty, means when there is nothing inside it. But before this, we have also this detail that the total mass of the butter cookies and chocolate cookies is 700. So butter cookies and chocolate cookies are 700. Okay. All right. I'll repeat. The total mass of everything, the box and the cookies, is 850 grams, and the mass of only cookies, both butter and chocolate cookies, is 700 grams, and the total of butter cookies only is 300 grams. We need to know the mass of the chocolate cookies and the mass of the box. First, what's the mass of chocolate cookies? Well, this is easy. We know the mass of butter cookies and chocolate cookies all together, right? Which is 700. We write it here. 700. Okay. We minus this number by 300. Minus 300. Why did we do that? This is because 700 is the mass of butter cookies and chocolate cookies, and when we minus only the mass of butter cookies, we will get the mass of chocolate cookies, which is 400 grams, right? So it's here 400, right? So when we add 300 grams and 400 grams, we'll get 700 grams, right? The total mass of the cookies. Now let's move to another question. What's the mass of the empty box? Well, we know that the total mass of the box and all the cookies is 850 grams, and the mass of cookies all is 700 grams. So now we want to get the mass of the empty box. This means we have to write 850 grams minus 700 grams, right? Why did we do that? This because 850 grams is the total mass of everything. We take the cookies out from the box, which is 700 grams, right? So this means 150 grams for the box, right? This means when we take out the cookies from the box becomes empty, and its mass is 150 grams. So we write here 150 grams for the box. Let's clear everything here, and now I'll give you another example. The problem is a family eats 5 kilograms of potatoes in a week. They eat the same amount of potatoes for 4 weeks. What is the total mass of potatoes that they eat? Well, it's clear from the question that this family in 1 week they eat 5 kilograms of potatoes. So if they do the same thing for 4 weeks, they eat, for example, the first week 5 kilograms, second week 5 kilograms, third week 5 kilograms, and the 4 weeks 5 kilograms. So how many kilograms of potatoes? What's the total mass of potatoes that they eat for the 4 weeks? Well, how to solve this kind of problems? If you remember, we used to solve the same thing before. We used to use the multiplication when we have the same number repeated many times. For example, now we have 5 kilograms for 1 week, and we have 4 weeks, right? The second week is 5 kilograms, third week 5 kilograms, 4 week 5 kilograms, right? But instead of do these additions one time, 2 times, 3 times, we can do 5 kilograms times or multiply by 4 weeks. So this is 20 kilograms. So the family eat 20 kilograms in 4 weeks. So you see here we use the multiplication to get the answer, because 5 kilograms in 4 weeks, this means we have to do multiplication. Now we reach to the last example. The total mass of 3 identical chairs is 6 kilograms. What is the mass of each chair? Well, we have here 3 identical chairs. Identical means the same. Identical chairs means all the chairs has the same size, the same weight or the same mass, and the same shapes. Everything is similar. So 1, 2, 3 chairs, 3 equal or similar chairs. And the total mass of these 3 chairs is 6 kilograms. We need to know the mass of every chair or each chair. How to do this? As you remember, in this case we need to use division, right? We need to use division. We write 6 because 6 kilograms for all the chairs divided by how many chairs do we have? 3, right? 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Why did we do division? We said that because we have the total mass of all chairs and we need to know the mass of every single chair here. So we did 6 divided by 3 is 2. So each chair is 2 kilograms. Okay, this is all for today. I'll see you in next lesson. Thank you for watching.